Hello, aspirants. A warm welcome to our channel, Mentoria IAS. This is Bindu, and I'm a mentor for UPSC aspirants. So, in today's session, you're going to learn about artificial intelligence in healthcare delivery system. What does it mean? See, everywhere in the newspaper, you will just come across any article related to the artificial intelligence, right? So, whether it is about the application of AI in automobiles, uh, the driverless cars that was deployed by the Tesla in US, not here. It's about application of AI in medicine, means you will get to know about the robotic surgeries and all. Application of AI in agriculture. In the same way, this is about the application of AI in healthcare delivery system. So what would be the main ambition of this application? Means what would be the achievement of this application of artificial intelligence in healthcare system? It would be the efficient, effective, and accurate delivery of the healthcare services to the people who doesn't have access to any kind of resources for that matter, like availability of doctors, availability of the specialists in certain areas of surgeries, emergencies, right? So these are all the places, gaps to fill in the medical field. So this is where the artificial intelligence comes in. So in today's session, let us explore this field called application of artificial intelligence in the healthcare system. Coming to this, what is AI in healthcare system? If you ask me any definition, so I can say that it is the application of AI in the field of medicine and healthcare in order to make the healthcare delivery system more accurate, more accessible, and more efficient. I have already told you. So there are a lot of gaps and lacunae in the field of this medicine and healthcare delivery. And this artificial intelligence is here to fill in those gaps. So today we are going to learn about what are all the applications of AI, what are all the disadvantages. See, for that matter, if there is any kind of invention, there would be some kind of advantages, there would be some disadvantages, and there is also a way forward, right? So today we are going to see what are all the applications of AI in medicine and healthcare delivery system. What are all the disadvantages of this healthcare application of AI in healthcare delivery system, and what is a way forward? See, you cannot completely deny any innovation or invention. The thing is that you have to just accommodate these pros and cons, and you have to apply in a right way in order to get the things done. So this is what we have to take care of, especially with the new innovations like artificial intelligence. Let us move to the another slide in order to explore about the advantages of artificial intelligence in. So the advantages of AI in medicine and healthcare delivery system. So the very first advantage that I have observed here is the automated tasks. Some of the tasks that are avoidable by the human beings. I'll tell you an example. See, if a doctor is getting ready for a surgery in a major hospital, the thing is that before actually taking up this task, operation theater, they have to get ready. They have to be get ready by some kind of human resources like the nurses, compounders, etc. But that kind of basic automated tasks by the human beings, they can be replaced by the robots, right? So this is what this automated task is all about. I just told you an example. There are, of course, many other automated tasks that you can also presume. And the second advantage here is the reduced risk, as we already talked about the accuracy, right? So I cannot say that the machines are completely 100% accurate, but 99% of the output that may be accurate, and that will reduce the risk to certain extent. And the third here is the remote surgeries. Consider a country like India. So if you go to the rural India, where you will hardly find any doctor in a primary healthcare center, right? And if you find a doctor, he may not be an efficient one to take up the task of an emergency. So, in that cases where the doctors, not only in India, in some other poorer countries like Africa and some other, continents like Australia, where the human resources are limited. So, in those areas, this artificial intelligence can be deployed in order to fill in such gaps in the medicine and personalized treatment. So we all know about the generalized treatment. That means you will, if you are affected with a common cold or affected with some fever, suffering from some fever, you will just take a small tablet every time. You cannot go to a doctor for a small cold or fever until unless you have some kind of viral infections. So in that case, we all are taking just, for example, we all take Dolo tablet when we are suffering from the fever, right? So the thing is that it's a generalized medicine for a specific disease. In future, it is going to be a personalized treatment of for each individual depending upon the DNA profile of that individual. That is gonna be the personalized treatment. Okay. And the next task here is early detection of diseases. So in some situations, we'll just come to know about like in our friends or relatives, we'll also hear some statements like, "Oh, that person is defected with final stage of cancer." So, if a disease is identified in later stages, in later part of life, so that may be very difficult to cure. If such kind of diseases like cancers, if they have been identified in the very beginning, in the beginning stages, so that can be cured. You have like chemotherapies, and such kind of therapies are available for any kind of disease nowadays. So the only challenging task here is that you have to identify it in a right time. So this is where the artificial intelligence comes in. So that is the reason why here I have included this point, early detection of diseases. And the next overall objective of this artificial intelligence is fill in the gaps of healthcare system. So these are all the advantages that I have identified with the application of artificial intelligence in the healthcare system. And coming to so after all, the machine learning is about the input of the algorithms and the input of data that we are giving to a machine in order to get some tasks done by the machine. So what if the algorithm is given wrong? For example, a machine is fed with an algorithm in order to identify a specific disease. Okay. So what if the algorithm that is given, that is fed to the machine, has gone wrong? Obviously it will show impact on the output, right? So if the algorithm is inaccurate, so the output of that task is going to be inaccurate. For that matter, it is going to be wrong completely. So this is another technical challenge that is associated with this machine learning, and flawed data reflection on performance output. So as I told you in the beginning itself, if the algorithm is given wrong, if the data is given wrong, that will show a huge impact on the end itself, on the output itself. That is where the entire, purpose of the artificial intelligence, purpose of this machine learning will go wrong, will completely destroyed, right? So this is where the technical challenge lied in. And coming to the ethical challenges. So ethical challenges is like the prejudices, the stereotypes that are existing in the society. See, you cannot go directly, to a hospital and get yourself a big surgery done with the help of a robot. So right now, the humans are still in dilemma whether to believe in these kind of surgeries, automated surgeries or not. So there is a dilemma, and it will take a lot of time to get out of this. And another challenge is a machine cannot predict. the human behavioral change. Okay, so it depends on the mood swings of the human being, the behavioral changes of the human being according to the situations. So a machine is programmed in only a one direction. So it cannot predict the human behavioral changes. That is another ethical challenge associated with these machines. Coming to the next, it is disadvantages. So the previous slide, we have seen the challenges of the application of AI in this healthcare delivery system and the disadvantages, unpredictable results. As I told you, this is just a beginning of the innovation, beginning of the invention, and it is also a very sensitive area where this application, if may go wrong, that may completely take a toll on a person who is, using that technology. So as the results are completely unpredictable, so you cannot say that yes, this task can be 100% done with the so and so machine. So this is just a beginning of innovation. So it will eventually take time to set all the things right. And the second disadvantage is poorly designed system may misdiagnose. I've already stated this before. If the algorithm or the input is given wrong, if the data is outdated, where the machine is given a specific task depending on the data that is fed to it, right? So, what if the data itself is given wrong? It will ultimately destroy the task at the end. So, that may result in if a person, for example, if a robot is given the task to detect the presence of any kind of cancer for that matter in a person, so it is applied in the diagnosis of a cancer, right? But the data that is fed to this machine is wrong. So what if the person that doesn't have any cancer, but depending upon the data that is given to it, if it shows yes, that person is detected with the cancer, and that is the end of the life of a person where he undergoes a lot of mental trauma. What if, let us take it in a reverse way. So if a person has literally have that cancer genes, but still this machine out of its limited content given to it, limited data given to it, is not able to predict the presence of cancer genes in that person, right? So that may entirely destroy the task of the purpose of the task itself. So that entirely depends upon the data and the design of the algorithms that we give to the machines. And unintended consequences in collaboration with the human beings may become a tool in the hands of antisocial elements. It's good that if this kind of technologies are used for the welfare of the human beings, for the betterment of our lives. What if this kind of technology is used by the antisocial elements? Just imagine. So the entire purpose of the invention will turn completely destroyed. See, this is how happened with the invention of atom bomb itself, right? So the atom bomb, that is, there is a movie recently, the buzz is going on about the Oppenheimer, right? So this movie is all about the dropping of atom bomb during the World War II. So what's the result? What's the output? What's the output of that invention? Has it been used for the welfare of the human beings or for the destruction of the human beings? Right. So this is where you have to think about the ethics of, you know, invention. So these are all the disadvantages that are associated with it. So way forward, right? As I told you in the beginning itself, you cannot completely ignore or you cannot completely keep aside a new innovation. The thing is that you have to reduce the negatives, you have to reduce the disadvantages, and you have to look for the way forward. So any invention is, after all, for the betterment of human beings, right? So what if you are, completely ignorant about a new invention? That will not be the case. So the thing is that you have to think about the way forward for any kind of inventions that are taking place. So what is the way forward here? So taking experts' opinion outside the medicine and computer science. So AI is designed by the computer engineers, and if it is going to be applied in the field of medicine, so both the doctors and the IT professionals, they have to collaborate in order to bring out an efficient machine. So apart from these two individuals from these two fields, so in these kind of innovations, you have to take the expert opinion, like you have the philosophers, philanthropists, you have the psychologist, you have the social workers who are working like in their own ambits for the welfare of the society. So in order to get the information at the grassroots level and how this kind of technology is going to be applied at the grassroots level itself, so that's the reason why you have to take the expert advice out of outside of these two branches of medicine and computer science. And coming to the next point, well designed algorithms can reduce the false positives and also the false negatives. So false positives are also dangerous and false negatives as well. As I have given the example of cancer, right? So if a person without having the cancer, because of these machines, if it detected cancer, that means it is false positive. So if a person went for the scanning, if that person has cancer, but unfortunately that machine not able to detect the presence of these cancer cells, so that is going to be the false negative. Okay, so these kind of technical glitches can be overcome eventually. So with the time, right? So how this is going to be applied? This application of AI in Indian medical care. So India, where the population explosion, where the population is explosion is huge, and but there are a very limited number of doctors. And just before I have given example of the primary healthcare centers as well. So, how the scarcity of doctors have been impacting the primary healthcare centers? So, that is what we have to think about. So, there are no like properly trained nurses or efficient doctors at the primary healthcare and secondary healthcare center level, at the grassroots level. So, where the humans, the people are living in those rural areas, they are literally suffering a lot with the lack of these efficient emergency services. So that is where the role of artificial intelligence comes in, especially in the rural part of India. So yeah, so and majorly the rural part of India is also suffering from the availability of fake doctors. Lack of doctors is one thing that is happening, and presence of fake doctors who are giving placebos to the people. That's all become an informal medical healthcare system where this kind of artificial intelligence can be applied in a right way in order to fill these gaps, fill these lacunae in that medical healthcare delivery system. So I think I have given proper inputs, related to this application of AI in the healthcare delivery system. So this is all for today, and in next sessions we are going to come up with a few interesting topics. Thank you. Have a good day.